This is a movie by Spanish director Juan Balaguero, who's probably best known for those wreck movies, which are very much horror movies, but this one is very much not that. This was actually originally called Way Down, and while the title does make sense in the context, I think The Vault just gets to the point a lot quicker, because this is a heist movie through and through and it doesn't try to hide it. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I'm a sucker for heist movies. But I'll be completely honest, this didn't even really look that great to me. It looked pretty mediocre with a chance of even being worse than that. However, in the hands of a capable director, I figured it was still worth giving a shot. Even though I knew this was probably gonna be significantly different from his earlier movies. And well, turns out this was actually pretty decent. Better than I expected for sure. Because it follows an older gentleman played by Liam Cunningham, who feels he's been wronged. He feels like something that belongs to him has been taken away from him. So he decides to right that wrong and to do whatever it takes to get it back. Which means putting together a crew of people with various talents to pull off the heist of the century. And that crew includes young boy genius played by Freddie Highmore, who I don't actually remember seeing in anything since Bates Motel a number of years back. But I think he was well cast in this and did a decent job, as did pretty much everyone else too. I don't think anyone was phenomenal, but they did their job and none of them bothered me. In fact, not that many things about this bothered me, aside from a few details later on, like let's call it the bridge section that just felt completely unnecessary. Also the thing with the radio, while great on paper, just came off as a bit too silly in the end. And while I'm at it, I will say a lot of the CGI effects weren't exactly great either. And there were aspects about the technology involved in the heist that was just pure fantasy. But none of those things were really a big issue or anything that would have managed to ruin this for me. Because this pretty much still contained everything you might want from a heist movie. Now it doesn't really do anything new or creative, it does pretty much just follow a clear blueprint. And the characters are pretty basic with not that much depth to them either. But at the end of the day, this still works. It did enough right for it to work. It got the things that mattered right, and the end result was a fairly entertaining movie. And that's really all I was looking for too, so I'm not gonna complain too much. I will also say that as much as I disliked some of the effects, some of the production was really impressive too. Like the fact that this takes place in Madrid during the World Cup in football. And I don't know how they did it, but the crowds in the streets looked legit. Like seriously convincing, like it was shot during the actual games. And maybe they just recruited a ton of people to pull it off, but however they did it, well done. Other than that though, I don't think I have much more to say about this. It's far from perfect and I wouldn't call it particularly great, but I found it to be very entertaining. And as a result, I'm thinking about giving this one a high 6. Boop. However, would I recommend it? If you like heist movies, I'd say give it a shot. And if you don't, maybe skip it or do whatever you feel like. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel because that would be fantastic.